It's going live. I'm live. Thank you. Can you hear me? Clicking on it, it's not doing anything. You can still hear me then? Thank you. Sorry about that if you were on the last one. It was absolutely crazy trying to figure it out, but thankfully Mr. Fitz was there to help me. So this one we're doing is lines, angles, and shapes. And the page we're starting on is the three-dimensional figures. So there's three parts to all three-dimensional figures. You have the face, which is the side that you see. The vertex is where these edges will come together and form a point. And the edge is kind of like the seam between the faces. So on this first one, it's a cube. So it's asking us for the number of faces, the number of edges, and the number of vertices. So we see here that this is one face. 2, this one over here that's towards the side is 3. The one on the back would be 4. And then we have the top, which is 5, and the bottom, that's 6. So the number of faces on a cube is 6. Now they want to know the edges. And these edges are the parts that hold the faces together. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 on the sides, 5, 6, 7, 8 for the top, 9, 10, 11, and 12 for the bottom. And then it asks for the number of vertices. And vertices are where the edges meet. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So there's 8 vertices on a cube. Our next shape is a rectangular prism. So our faces would be 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the top and the bottom would make 5 and 6. Same as with the cube. Is not a 6. Okay, well that's just going to have to be a 6 for us because I can't get it to draw a 6. So for the edges, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. 9, 10, 11, 12. Almost forgot the bottom. And then for the vertices, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Hi, Mrs. Yingling. There has to be a way that I can move this that I can see everything. Perfect. All right. Next one, we have a triangular prism. Has a face on top, which is 1, the bottom is 2, and then 3, 4, and 5 for the sides. Okay. For the edges, there's 1, 2, 3 edges, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Hopefully this 9 looks better than my 6 did. Nope, so that's going to be a 9 for tonight. For vertices, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, we're going to try the 6 again. Yep, that's a 6. I don't know what it's trying to do. Alright, our next shape is a rectangular, because that's what the base is. Pyramid, because it comes to a top. So our edges, there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm sorry, faces. There's 4 faces that make up the top of the pyramid, and then the bottom would be 5. Okay. For the edges, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Thank you, Mr. Fitz and Mrs. Yingling. Mr. Fitz came to my rescue today to help me figure out how to do this. Vertices, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 at the top of the pyramid. Okay. Down here, the bottom has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides, which makes it a hexagon, and it comes to a point at the top, which makes it a hexagon pyramid. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 faces around the sides, and 1 on the bottom is 7. For the edges, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then on the edges for the bottom is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and 6 and 6 is 12. Vertices, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 that connect the sides to the bottom base, and then 7 for the one on top. The next page is asking you to make nets. So each one of these shapes corresponds to one of the nets down here. And it already gave you this one. It looks like a pizza box when it's open, and it looks like a pizza box when it's closed. So they told us that this one is A. So that would make is a cube. So because they connect on the sides, are going to be in a row, and there's going to be 1 on each side for the top and the bottom. And another one. E looks like an ice cream cone, and if we were to cut down the side, this would open up like a triangle, so it would look like this. And then if we flipped the face down, it would have a circle on it, kind of like that. So this one down here is pretty close to the one that I tried to draw. So that would make this E. Okay, this is another cube up here for K. So it'll look the same as C, which now looking at it makes me realize that this one, because it's bigger, is going to be a K, not a C. Because they look the same, but one is significantly bigger. Same as up here with the three-dimensional shapes. Down here we have I. So when you have pyramids, their nets will start with the base. So this is a triangular base. So if we draw the base will then have one of these sides, which comes down in a really big triangle from each one, which would look something... This is horrible, and I am so sorry. But the sides would come out like this. Kind of like a flower. So down here is one that is what mine tried to look like. My lack of artistic abilities. So this would make this one an I. And this one an I. I think that's it. Okay. L is another pyramid, so it'll be the same. It has a rectangular base. So it'll be rectangular, and then it'll have the triangles that come out on all the sides. I don't know if I have enough room to draw this one. Okay. So it'll look something like that. So if we go down here, there's two of them beside each other right here. There's another one. And here is another one. Okay. Back up to the top. We'll go to M. M is a cylinder. So when we sliced down the side of the cylinder part would form a rectangle. And then the top and the bottom would be circles attached to the rectangle. Kind of like this. Okay. So down here, I see there's one here, but this is significantly taller than the one that we have. Over here is one that's shorter. So this one's going to be M. Well, that's the only one that's an M. So if we move over to X, it's going to look the same, except our rectangle is going to be much taller. Like that. So that would make this one our X. Okay. So for S, if we unfolded one of these edges, it would be a rectangle, but it would have, I don't think it's going to let me do it, maybe. It's going to be separated into 4 different parts. Like that. And then we're going to have a rectangle on either side of it. For the sides. Okay, so it'll kind of look something like this. So down here we see where all the sides are hooked together. So that would make this an S, this an S. That is not an S. So the answer to our riddle, our tongue twister, I'm sorry, it's a tongue twister, is 6 small slick seals. So our next page, hey Carmelo, is all about nets, which are all these things I tried to draw up here for you. So once you solve this, these will help you solving these ones. So I will attempt to do one of them for you. So this one is a square pyramid. The base is a square. It comes to a point, which makes it a pyramid. So it would look like Holden is really trying to figure out how to draw on a computer. It's kind of crazy. So the net for your square pyramid would look something like this. Down here, this is the same one I tried to do up there. So if you unfolded it, it would be a really big rectangle. Separated into 4 parts. Oh, that means a lot coming from you. Alright, so separate it into 4 parts with a square on each side. Alright, so it would look something like that. Hi, Madison. Alright, you guys can draw your own nets for the next 3. And then next Monday, when we do this again, we will figure out what a mystery shape is. So, I'm going to go ahead and get off so I can figure out how to get all this ready for the last one. If you guys need me, you can reach me on Google Hangouts or through my email.